Just one question. So you don't believe that the information that a borrower receives when they sign the note is adequate?
I think I would like to, when I want to buy something, I want to see the price before I get real interested in it.
Right.
Okay.
And isn't that part of the disclosure on the note?
I don't think it's being done in the approach that it needs
our
to be
commissioner
done.
said that it was.
I think she's referring to the disclosures on the contract. By the time you got into the contract,
They
we think
signed that contract, though, don't
Yes.
they?
Yes, sir. But we're saying that by the time you've gone through the process to get to that contract, that's pretty far down the road for an average borrower. We'd rather see prices being clear up front. And of course, the big problem though is that with a single payment installment, the price is going to depend. The cost is going to depend on how many times you have to roll it over.
So where will these consumers go for this product? Because as you've heard people say, and you've heard and I've heard that if they're not in this market, it's not available. And so with the numbers that we're talking about, which tells me there's a market, the number of people.
There's certainly a market.
Okay.
Yes.
So if that market dries up, where will these people go to get credit?
I don't want the market to dry up. I just want it to be a little more reasonable and fair.
But you know, in the marketplace, folks charge what they believe they need to have as a return, and they do. They charge these off. The losses are pretty great, pretty great. And I know your friends behind you don't agree with me with their body language, but that's okay. We'll get a chance to visit later too. But the bottom line is if you don't want to participate in the market, why do you do it? And if you think that there is a better place to go borrow, then go do it. And the facts are, there's not another place. These people have found this market. They want to do it. The demographics itself, I'm just as sympathetic as you are. I'm just as involved in my church as you are. I have the same concerns that you have, and it goes beyond just their debt. There are other factors too that I consider that concern me. But to come back and question religious affiliation on whether or not you're having a payday loan, it's a little strange. It's a little tough. I struggle with that. We can all quote the scripture, but anyway, that's the wrong direction to go, I believe, and because we can talk about all the issues that are out there. The other thing is when you just dry up a market, those folks have to have a place to go.
I totally agree with you, and that's why when I see what other states are charging and that the industry's doing okay in other states and they're not charging $23 or $24 per hundred, that tells me they can still be successful. I agree people have a choice to where they borrow money. I don't think we should be paternalistic in this. That's
I don't either. That's what bothers me.
Yeah,
we are. That's what the suggestion is, and that's why we're here discussing it.
Sure. There aren't many loans you can get without having to show your income and then someone gauging whether you can really afford that. If you take out a mortgage, they're going to look at your ability to pay. And industry says they look at that, but when I'm looking at the people that Goodwill is serving, and let's say they take home, $1,000 a month, and their payday loan is going to be $800. I'm thinking to myself, how are they going to pay that? And they shouldn't have taken the loan out in the first place.
And if they default, it's not reported to a credit bureau, and the collection practices are. Nobody goes and breaks an arm. At least if they have, I haven't heard anyone come in here and tell me that yet. I think is that a lesson someone has to learn? Is when they get to that point, okay, I walk away, and what happens? They go start it all over again?
Well, the people I've worked with tell me they'll never do that again, and that
and yet the market continues to grow.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting into philosophical conversations.
Can I respond to one portion of that, Representative? On the default. someone does secure this loan by a post-dated check or access to the credit to their checking account. So if someone just walks away, they're going to take that money out of their account. It's not that there's just nothing they can do.
Well, how are they going to take it out of the account if they don't have it? If they had it, they go pay.
It's overdrawn. It becomes an overdrawn.
It becomes overdrawn, and then they incur fees.
Or it's returned as NSF. I don't know.
And then they get
I
charged
spent my
a
life
fee.
in financial industries, and I don't go around okaying overdrafts on people that I can't loan money to.
I think part of the problem is these are people who are making payments. We're not talking about people who are walking away. We're concerned about the people that are making payments over and over
But I think
and over
that's
again.
the problem. You do have a lot of people that walk away.
And that's a piece of data that I think that I would love to see from the industry. I don't have a good handle on what their true default rate is. If someone pays $600 towards a $300 loan but never pays $368 at one time, have they defaulted when they've paid twice back what the loan was? I think that's hard to justify how that's a default on the part of the industry. And I think we've got good information or data collected about truly when someone makes a loan and does not get back what they've put out there. I just don't think I've seen that data. And they'll tell you that 90% of the people pay their loans back.
And I'm sure the industry has some additional data, and I'm sure if that's something that we need to gather, well, we can get it. But I think the bottom line is the industry has set their own standard, whether you like it or not. It's there. The borrower has gone out and participated in that industry, whether we like it or not. And I think just to decide that we are going to determine what the rate needs to be.
But we do that all
we don't go around
products.
You know what? I don't go around. I don't go around comparing much in Oklahoma and Texas. I like the way we do things in Texas, and that's okay. But anyway,
I think we're going to hear from the next person will talk about how we regulate other markets in Texas.
Okay. Before you leave, is there any advice you might give this committee in what we can do to improve the level of competition in this sector?
I think upfront pricing on fee prior to when someone sits down to sign a contract would be helpful. Just if you go through the marketing that you see for these folks, it's about speed and convenience and how much you can borrow. It's very little competition based on how much that loan is going to cost. So if we can somehow try and
standardize the product?
Yes.
So that you can have a sign when you walk into the building that shows a menu of the cost of the different products?
Some of that is available, but I don't think I'm seeing. When you look at the data, we've just started with new regulations. For each quarter, the average fees charged has gone up. I can't explain that, but that seems odd to me. It seems like competition, more lenders being licensed under this type of scheme should drive prices down and not up. And I think I don't have a solution for that, but I think it's something that the committee should definitely look at.
It's not unusual, though. All financial institutions, when you don't pay your debt in accordance with the original agreement, it's not unusual for your rate to go up.
I'm talking about the rate when they start, though.
I understand.
Like when you walk in the door, it's more expensive today than it was in January of last year, and that seems odd.
Almost $1 more actually per 100.
Well, you've raised some important issues, and we will try to gather some more data to get a better understanding on what is driving up those prices.
I have copies of my testimony and some other information.
That would be great. Thank you so much. Members, any more questions? No. Thank you so much.